All right, what's up, gents? My fellow dirtbags. Thanks for clicking on the video. We're finally finished with Faction Wars 21. This is my second time recording this video because I did it and the screen was too small, so you couldn't see anything. So I'm doing it again for you guys. So if you haven't subscribed, subscribe so the videos pop up for you. This is the last Faction Wars we completed for our Lydia. We'll go over the video first, then we'll go over the guys, the masteries, everything you guys need to know. I know you see Trunda in here, but don't worry, there's a ton of different champions that you can use instead of her. So we're gonna start off by going to the video. As you can see, Trunda's leading the way. I put her in a accuracy, so it's funny because I literally just said this 20 minutes. All right, whatever, we'll get into it. So we put her in not a sunset. There's nobody here with a sunset. We'll go over all the sets later, but we have two level 50s. Trunda, I know, but you can replace her with Gala Longbraid. But Trunda, if you have her, use her and put her in accuracy. I know you're crazy. I'm the only one on the entire YouTube who has a Trunda that says go accuracy with Trunda. It makes things so much easier. I failed this run maybe 5 or 6 times before I was like, wait, Trunda has a pretty good stun. Like, on everything. let's put accuracy on Trunda and let's see where the hell it goes. It went great. So with the first wave, obviously you want to kill the Reser, but this guy to the right, if you don't CC him, he will one-shot somebody. He hits very, very hard. So focus on that guy to the right. Rask, he doesn't heal for too much, but kill the guy to the right, stun him, whatever you gotta do. He reses back up. If you have, I don't know if there's a block revive, but there probably isn't. Just really control. Now watch Trunda, who just CC's the crap out of him. Ready? Oh my god, stunned again with a leech. Like, she's so good. But Galalombre can one-shot him. So with this wave, we want to control. Watch this. I'm going to pause this. Look how many stuns. This is why you need accuracy on Trunda. So she stunned 5 or 4 out of 5, and she would have stunned Nurag, but he can't be stunned. But she controls the wave so much. Without this, I would definitely focus on the guy who puts up the block damage in front, because if you don't kill him or don't CC him, he's going to block all the damage. Now, putting up the block buffs from your Grizzle is key with Nurag, because Nurag is going to put up the block buffs on everybody. So make sure that Grizzle puts up his block buffs, so that way you don't get buffed with Nurag. That's kind of the key there. You want to kill the Steel Skull as fast as possible. He puts up the increased defense. He heals the entire team. He takes away your debuffs. So killing him is definitely key. And then CCing the Maneater. If you could CC the Maneater and kill Steel Skull, this wave becomes a lot easier. Nurag doesn't hit as hard. Draco does put up the decreased defense. Like, you know what Draco does. So why you have Rock Bottom in there is because he's going to provoke this wave. So if you don't have the stuns from her, Rock Bottom is definitely going to be your key champion for this Faction Wars. He's so good. Rock Breaker, that's his name. Rock Breaker is just so good. I can't wait to go over him because he's a level 50 with no masteries. So, all right, now we're at the final boss. Now the boss, what this boss does is he stuns everybody. So that's why Grizzle's so good, because he blocks that. And then he hits somebody really, really hard. So you want Rock Breaker to take that, and how he takes that is he has to have the least HP. You still want him to have enough HP, but you want him to have the least HP to take that hit. Now, sometimes Grizzle gets hit because he does have little HP. He's very defensive. He's got a counterattack because of the masteries, but he's also built for clan boss. So he hits really hard, and he has a lifesteal set. Trunda and everybody else doesn't really get hit because they have more HP than him and Grizzle. So if you want to kind of go back and forth, make sure Grizzle has a little bit more HP than Rockbreaker. And if you're doing that, you're good to go because they're both tanky. He ignores defense. That's kind of why it's hard. You definitely need Rearguard Sergeant because she has the Ally Protect, also the decreased attack. So without decreased attack, he's going to hit even harder. The decreased defense is also why you bring her, but she rarely does it. Like, it's so random with her. But once that gets down to one turn up top, his skills, you're going to want to put up the block buffs. He went, so he did get stunned, but then he goes after Grizzle again. He counterattacks, heals back up a little bit. She puts up the heal as well as the shared defense, ally protect. That's really why she's in this in here. I'm thinking, do I put it up? And I'm like, yeah, we need to put it up. This guy does almost no damage. Rockbreaker, I don't have him built for damage, but Trunda, she's basically our main damage dealer. If you don't have her, bring Gala Longbraids in, and then you should be good to go. So now basically this part of the battle, it's kind of just don't get one-shotted. If you guys get one-shotted, then you just have to restart. But getting here is pretty simple. Obviously, it doesn't change. It's just get to the boss and then set up everything where you're sharing the damage, you're blocking the buffs like he just did, and then if you can, decrease the attack. Now, the only person that I have to decrease the attack is the the new champion that has a 25% decrease attack. But then she does Real Guard Sergeant has the decrease attack as well, but it's only a 50% chance. So and it's on a 4-turn cooldown. So it's so hard to kind of keep that up on her or the boss specifically. But this is me kind of like celebrating at the same time, where we just got Lydia and a Sacred Shard. So I'm like, oh my god, we just did it, and my girlfriend's like, what? And she didn't care. But I was freaking out at this point. Because once I changed, I'm telling you, once I changed her to Trunda to accuracy, it just made things so much easier. All right, so we're going to get into the champions that we used, some different options that people can use, and also the Masteries and everything. So obviously this is a casual thing. You're going to be saving this towards the end. If you can't do faction wars with the champions that even just the epics, just save it to the end, towards the end, because faction wars isn't made for newer players or even sometimes mid-game players. It's made for people that have been playing for a little bit, have the gear, have the champions that can actually do everything at the given time. So I think I did all faction wars in the past 2 months just because I've been swapping the gear out between everybody, spending a lot of silver. I don't have any silver left over because it's really just been putting into upgrading gear, getting everything to 16, and putting on the champions that you need to get up. But there's our Lydia. All right, so let's go over. Obviously, everybody, you don't have a Trunda, but if you do have a Trunda, we went more of an accuracy route because of the stuns. So with the skills that she has an A1, attacks one enemy 2 times, has a 50% chance of placing a stun, up to a 60% chance if you have the books. So 2 chances, 60% chances to place a stun. That's why she has so much good CC with the accuracy. And then attacks one enemy, then attacks all enemies. So attacks one enemy twice, attacks all enemies once with a second hit, dealing 6% of the damage inflicted on the first hit. So this hit's actually really hard, and now with her new AI, she has more chances of doing this instead of just the A1. So it definitely helps out. And this one attacks all enemies at 70% chance of placing a stun. Now, when I saw this, I'm like, all right, we don't need a stun set on anybody. We literally just have her to stun everybody and control the waves. It makes things so much easier. But plays an HP burn debuff for 2 turns on enemies under stun. So basically, you're going to be able to put a stun up. You're going to be able to do HP burn, which does more damage. Places an extra hit on enemies not under stun. So I'm probably the only one out of everybody who has Trunda that says use the stun. I started using her in PvP with the stun. I kept the, this is pretty cool too, but I kept the accuracy up on her with the PvP, and it actually works out quite well. So if you have a Trunda and you build her with accuracy over no accuracy, it doesn't hurt to have accuracy, especially if you're doing it for Faction Wars 21. So champion res increases for each stun, so this actually stacks across each round, which is sick. Then the speed for HP burns. So this doesn't really matter that much in Faction Wars because you're not really going to be doing that a lot on the boss. I use her as a ore for the attack just for herself, so she actually boosts her own attack by 36%, which is huge, like really, really good. And her masteries are kitted out just for PvP. So we went all the way down to Hell Smasher. She'll probably go this if she takes any damage, but she's mainly just to go first and nuke the other team. So yeah, that's really all she does. And then the artifacts, we went Savage. So this is probably one of the best sets I have, and I put her on her because once I got her, I just leveled her up really quick and threw her in PvP, and she's amazing. But crit rate, speed, crit rate, and we got crit damage gloves. This is the best gloves I had for crit damage at that time. I probably could get better ones now, but crit rate with crit damage, and then attack and speed. So she's not really built for faction where she kind of is. I mean, she is, but like her gear isn't. You know, her gear is good enough, and she's good enough to control the waves enough and not die. Then we have attack, crit damage, and then here we go, accuracy with speed and attack. So with her total stats, we have 4,500 attack, 38,000. I told you you need to make sure that the HP is just above or higher than your Rockbreaker because you want him to be taking these stunts or the hits. You know, so you obviously don't want her to take the hit or she'll just die. But 211 speed, 95 crit, 224 crit damage with Helm Smasher, and then 243 accuracy. This used to be 100, but now it's a lot more. Again, try it out. I loved it. It's definitely worth it. So that was the first one. Then we have another clan boss champion, Grizzle, which I use in my green affinity to kind of block the buffs. But this is kind of why you need them. So you need to get this down to a 3-turn cooldown to make sure that you're always blocking the stun. Please block debuffs on all allies for 1 turn. So it's only 1 turn. It'd be a lot better if it's 2 turns, but it's 1 turn, so you have to kind of make sure you're timing it accordingly. But also places an increased defense, which she ignores defense, so it doesn't really matter. But this, you can also have him as your decreased attacker, but you also need to put accuracy on him. I didn't want to kind of change up anything. I already had the other chick for decreased attack, even though she doesn't do it that often, but this does have a 100% chance of placing it. So if I were to go back and I kept dying, I'd probably have to put an accuracy banner on him as well to make sure he lands this decreased attack. It's on a 5-turn cooldown. Like, it's such a long cooldown. It's not even worth it. He hits hard though. Like, he's in a lifesteal set, so has a 35% chance of placing heal reduction. This doesn't really matter in faction wars, but again, he hits really hard. It's Masteries clan boss build. Down to War Master, so he's definitely going to be doing damage on the boss. And this, you saw he counterattacked a couple times to heal himself back up, which is also very, very good. But his gear, lifesteal with speed. So we have crit rate to do damage, defense, speed, HP, speed, crit rate, crit damage, speed, and then speed with crit rate. So we have a lot more crit rate than we actually need. But defense, HP, crit damage with HP, and then defense with speed and defense. So pretty good banner for him. We have 200 speed, 111 crit damage or crit rate. That's a lot, way overkill. 35. So he was right next to Rockbreaker. That's why he kept taking the stun. He did survive. You saw he has 4,600 defense, but he's the lifesteal set. That's the main thing, is him able to counterattack and then heal back up on War Master and lifesteal. That way he can just keep going. So if you don't have Rockbreaker, or he is kind of built this way, it's okay if he takes the stun or the hit, because he probably won't die with these stats, obviously, that you saw. So then next we have this girl. Now I leveled her to 60 just for the faction wars, which it sucks doing, but you kind of need her. Her skills decreased defense, so wanted to get this on the boss, but didn't. She's the only one that I have that has a decreased defense, and this is the decreased attack on a 4-turn cooldown, but only 50% chance. So low, like, you need to book this out. I just didn't have enough books. Like, she takes a lot of books because I really wanted to get this, but again, still not fully booked. This could be a 3-turn cooldown, make sure your lives a lot easier, but Ally Protect is key for the boss's hit, and also she provides heals to the team, which is great. And then you could use her as an aura, but it's only Force Ally HP, so it only boosts up her HP. So it's not going to boost up the rest of the team. I know she doesn't either, but at least if you have her as an aura, it's fine because she's going to boost up herself and not really do anything. So no Masters. I think I have like 2 or 3 champions that have no Masteries, which I love showing off, because if you're a casual raider, you're not going to have time or the energy or anything to do all the Masteries on every single people, especially people that you don't use besides one thing in the game. I'm never going to use her anywhere else. I know you can use her in the clan boss. She is pretty good, but for me, for my account, we don't need her. Now we have lifesteal set, so she does have to kind of heal herself back up a little bit. We have HP and speed. I wanted to get some accuracy on her. Speed. Need to make her fast, so that way that 4-turn cooldown can go a little bit faster. But we got crit rate because I need her to do damage to heal. So we need her not just to be tanky, I need her to kind of heal herself back up. Now, since she has an AoE, that helps out a lot with the lifesteal. Then we have HP and then speed. So again, I want her to be not necessarily as tanky as like a defense chest, but HP, because I want her to have more HP than everybody else because she's going to be the one sharing the damage. So she needs to have a lot of HP. This should have been leveled 16. Defense with accuracy, and then accuracy on this because I wanted her to land her stuff. She doesn't land it that much, but speed with HP. Total stats, we have 53,000 HP, almost 3,000 defense, 220 speed, which is pretty good, and then 246 accuracy, which is great. We got that 70% crit, not a ton of crit damage, but she does heal herself back up, so that's not bad. Then next we have the two 50s, so we'll go with the first 50. Now I was testing out this guy, Rock Breaker, I keep calling him Rock Bottom. Rock Breaker in a ice set. He's the only one in my entire list, whole account that has a full ice set on him because of this skill right here. So this just places a provoke 100% once it's booked out, which I highly recommend booking that out for that and this. But for this, it's 100% chance of putting a provoke up. You need accuracy. So if him being level 50, you don't have a banner. So he was actually no ascension for the longest time, just level 50, no ascension. I needed to get him ascended to 50 to put the neck piece on him so that we can get a little bit more accuracy. But we have provoke and counterattack. Now, with him provoking everybody, they're all going to attack him. So hopefully there's a chance to freeze them to control the waves. He was doing it a lot before I put accuracy on Trunda. Once I put accuracy on Trunda, I didn't need him because they were stunning everybody. So he's really there just for the boss to take the hit. So he needs to be the lowest HP, high enough to not die, but still lower than everybody else, so that way he's the one targeted by the boss. That's how you control the boss's attack, which is so much easier. This doesn't really do any damage. It does a little bit more defense every time he hits with it. It does stack up. That's why counterattack's so cool for him, but not really going to do a lot of damage with this champion. Has a 25% chance of decreasing the damage inflicted on this champion by 50%. That is huge. So it's a 50% chance once booked to decrease the chance by 50%. So if he does get hit by the boss, he's almost taking no damage. Especially if you get a decreased attack on the boss, then he's just kind of laughing it off. His aura, arena, doesn't matter. But this is kind of what you want to book out in this. And you want him to be the tank for the boss. It's going to help out the waves a lot just by provoking everybody. And hopefully you can kind of get them down to that time. On the wave 2, it's going to help out so much, especially with the Man-Eater. And you can provoke Narag, which is great. Then we have another, oh, sorry, no Masteries. Let's get to the gear. So we have Frost Set. So this is a 20% chance of placing a freeze debuff on it. It's not high, but it's still a percentage. We wanted just as much accuracy on this guy as possible. Look at that accuracy roll, accuracy with accuracy set, accuracy, speed, no accuracy there, but HP, and then speed with the defense, and then speed with a little bit of accuracy. But look at this neck. We have accuracy. That's kind of why I needed it. And then we have defense with HP. So his total accuracy for level 50 with no masteries is 265. So if I could do it, guys, you could do it. Again, who the hell uses frost sets? So you probably have a ton of sets laying around. That's probably saved because you want to save stuff that has speed on it. So if you save speed and whatever else, that's kind of what's in your vault, I'm sure. But we got nothing down here. 187 speed, 2,500 defense, 33,000 HP, based off of 13,000, and then 264. So all you're caring about with this guy is HP, which you want the lowest on the team, but you still want high. So you want everybody else to be really high, and you want him to be low but high. So just so that way he doesn't die from a one hit from the boss, because the boss ignores defense. So defense doesn't really matter when you're at the boss. It's really just HP and healing back up. But this matters for the waves is the accuracy. All right, so we got that guy, and then finally the MVP level 50-ish guy. He's going to provide the heals. So his helmet I took off of somebody else. It was this guy. So I put it on this guy, just kind of test this guy out, but he had HP, a lot of speed, and crit rate with just this helmet. So this helmet was on him when I was running it. But he had a lot of HP because his heal is based off of HP. So he had probably around 50k HP with 215 speed, which was around 230 when that helmet was on. So for this guy, a lot of HP and a lot of speed. Accuracy, if you want him to land the mini decrease attack and decrease speed and poisons. But I would highly suggest as fast as you can make him with as much HP, like the best HP gear you have on your account, put it on this guy. which it's easy to kind of sub out because a lot of your gear is based off of HP. So all HP. So we have HP on the gloves, HP on the chest piece, speed with HP and accuracy. Look at that speed roll. That's amazing. And then this HP 3 roll. I've been swapping, if you've seen any of my other videos, I've been swapping this gear around on every single healing champion I have. So that's kind of like my secret, to just rotate the gear. And then this, we have HP with HP roll, HP with accuracy, and obviously level 50, you don't have a banner. But skills, he puts up a poison on a boss, which if he has a poison on the boss, he can then put up a decreased speed and decreased attack. So decreased attack just happens, but decreased speed is only for people that have poisons. So that's why this is good for the boss if he has accuracy. I didn't build him with accuracy because I didn't rely on that. I probably should have if I didn't have a Trunda. And then this is fills turn meter by allies by 15% and heal all allies by 15%. Now, try not to use this unless you need to be healed. That's my suggestion, is don't use this unless you're healing your team, because he provides one of the only 2 heals on your team, not including Life Drinker. But save it. Like, only use it when you need it. I remember on the boss, I was like, do I use it? Do I not use it? And I didn't use it because I didn't need to heal. So only use that if you really need to. Masteries, no Masteries. Again, I think we have 3 champions that have no Masteries on. We have him, he has Clan Boss Masteries, and she has no Masteries. So we have 3 out of 5 champions that have no Masteries, which is great. So those are the champions that we use. That's the gear. Now, what champions that I would highly suggest if you don't have these champions, we're going to go over right now, which is going to be her. So Gala Longbraid does so much damage. There's so many guys on her. I would highly suggest her in the lifesteal set or relentless set. Her chances just to keep going over and over again are just so high because she does get an extra turn if she's fully healed. She puts up a shield, which then she gets to go again. Like, it's just, it's good. She's probably the best DPS champion in this entire faction, besides like Trunda. So she's a very good replacement over Trunda. She just isn't going to provide as much stunning, obviously, with Trunda. But use her instead of Trunda, and you guys will be all set. Everything else, keep exactly the same with everybody else, but use her instead of Trunda. If you guys have her, use her. Faction Wars is easy for you. If you have any of the other legendaries, all very, very good. Again, have her. Faction Wars is easy for you. But use 2 Real Guard Sergeants, maybe one at 50, one at 60, to kind of both share the ally protection and continuous heal. And obviously the aura help each other out. This guy does a lot of damage. He also provides a decreased defense and weaken on the boss. So if you have him, he could also be another option instead of Trunda. Like, you really just need somebody that just does a ton of damage to the boss, which could be him. Got long braids. This guy is new. Haven't really tested him out or seen him anywhere. I don't think he'll be a huge help to the faction. He does have a counterattack, but that's not really going to do a ton. But yeah, everybody else we already went over. Now the rares, there's a couple rares. This guy, very, very good. He provides the decreased accuracy as well as decreased defense. So it could be very good for the final boss. Decreased speed as well. So I think Stu ran a thing on him, but he's a good champion. Like, he's a very good AoE champion, good dwarf. This guy, he's okay. He extends the debuffs on the boss if he gets attacked, provides an HP burn. He's a defense type champion, so he's tanky. And then this guy provides a little bit of heals. I tried him, he's not enough heals. Like, I tried him at 50, because I always try people at 50 before I level him up to 60. He just wasn't like this guy is. This guy, you just need HP, and he's going to be able to heal your team, go super fast. He's able to do this every 4 turns. So, really, really good. This guy's another HP champion. He provides this. So the ally protect with increased defense. So if you didn't have 2 rear guard sergeants, you can probably have 1 rear guard sergeant and him to try and help out with the mitigation. Like, let's say rear guard sergeant's low, he can then put up his ally protection, which is only 25%, but it's still something, you know? Dungeons, so that's not really going to matter. So that's some different options. This guy I've been trying out. I just can't find anywhere besides Doom Tower to use him with the increased accuracy. If you need, like, let's say you don't have any level 60s, you don't have any banners, you can bring this guy in, increase your accuracy by 50%, which is huge. And then this guy, block revive, but you don't really need to block revive anybody. No, the waves are pretty easy to get through. So So that is my suggestion, guys. That is my Dwarf 21 Faction Wars. Again, if you are saving this for the end, that's what I highly suggest, just because it's a very limited option with the Dwarfs. But if you have, like, once you get through all the other ones, at that time, you're probably later into Raid, where you probably have some of these guys saved up. You probably summon some of these rares or epics, if not multiple epics, and you might have got even lucky to get this. She's not even a void. So if you get her, you can definitely run a lot of 50s, a lot more 50s with really good gear, but really get her, and probably him. And then you're level 50, and you can probably 4-man Faction Wars, honestly. Or even 3-man, I don't know. Galilong Braid, her, and then him, and you could probably 3-man this Faction Wars. She's just so OP right now. Let me know who you guys are using, who you want to see next. We're going to do, obviously, Lydia very, very soon. We're also going to do a video on how to kind of do Faction Wars. Like, it was so much. Again, I did all this in probably like a month to 2 months with the right people. And it's all about swapping the gear out. So we're gonna do a whole long video on how to make Faction Wars easier for you, because you saw a lot of my videos have level 50s in it with no masteries, and even some of my level 60s have no masteries. So with the video coming up, make sure you subscribe so that way it pops up and you see it right away. If you're not subscribed, we're giving away free count giveaways every couple hundred or 50 subscribers. So if you haven't seen those, go check those out. But guys, I do appreciate you. Through this whole trek of Faction Wars. I know some videos have a little bit legendaries, but again, I've been playing for a long time. Sometimes that's what you need. Like, if you're really focused on just getting through all of Faction Wars with just rares, it's just don't don't do it. You will literally pull your hair out and you will hate this game. But just take your time. Like, it will come. Like, Lydia is not the best champion in the entire game. She is very good. It's just not, oh my god, if I have her, I win Raid. So let me know what you think. Put a comment below. Join our Discord. We're always talking about Raid. If you like Raid, join it. We'll talk whatever you guys want to talk about it. But guys, appreciate it. Good luck with everything, and we'll see you in another video soon.